What up, y'all? It's already started checking in. Guess who? Say what's up to Lil Kila. Say what's up, Kila. Found this little baby on my way back from the store the other day. Here, I'll let you down because I know you don't want to be in the whole thing. Here, baby girl. Here you go, little mama. If you want to go outside, it's up to you. Found this baby after another full moon, the Scorpio full moon. I was walking down the street back from my little stop from the grocery store, and she was in a ditch. And I heard like this moan. It sounded like somebody was like, it didn't even sound like a cat. It just sounded like somebody was weeping. And I was like, I just put that key lime pie in my mouth. You want to go outside? She's so independent. Yeah, back to the story. So basically, I was coming back from the store. I was finishing up my second key lime pie. Shout out to Edwards. This is not a plug. I'm just telling you that Edwards key lime pie. Hey, ooh, boy, tell you. The baby was weeping, moaning, and I looked after I got done finishing it. I put the key lime pie away, and I was like, what the f? And I heard it again. And I was like, oh no. Because I don't know if I told y'all the first time it happened, but Fry, the other cat, who is no longer with us at the moment, we know he's still alive, but he's not with us no more because he was kind of like an inside-outside cat. And then we woke up one morning and he wasn't there. So anyway, basically I wanted to say this because there was a cat that when I was living in Chicago that came and stayed with me, and basically it's the same kind of cat. And this is around the time I was going through a deep transformation in my life. So it's interesting that the same cat, the same color, black and white, with the little, gray bluish eyes, is back in my life, but a baby. Like, this is a baby, like a baby cat. But that's not what this whole thing is about. I did want to share some of the things that I have seen. We're going to be talking about the retrograde. We're going to be talking about, for real, y'all, wolf animal totem, talking about true security and what true security is. And we're also going to be talking about the card ripeness. Let me go get the card for that ass. This cinnamon has been giving me so much. If you don't have no sage, or you don't have no Palo Santo, or you don't have anything to, light up, just get you a bare cinnamon stick and you won't be right. Ripeness. So let's start off with the card, then we'll get into the animal totem, and then we'll get into the retrogrades that are going to be coming, or that have started. Saturn stationed retrograde today. Mercury has just moved into Gemini today. So, woo, boy. Let's talk about ripeness. Ripeness, this card, I'm going to read the quote and then I'm going to read kind of like what I put down. When this card appears in the reading, it indicates that you are ready to share your riches and your juice. All you need to do is relax right where you are and be willing for it to happen. This sharing of yourself, the expression and creativity can come in many ways, in your work, in your relationships, and in your everyday experiences. So through these retrogrades, this ripeness card, when you see these fruits just fall off the tree. And it's not like anybody's picking them. It's not like it's being forced. It's not like it's being, nobody shifting his hand. It's his 9 of earth, by the way. These are just the things that you do over this period of time, of these retrogrades. Do not think it's for nothing. Don't think that don't think that the energy that you're putting into your projects, your relationships, and everything else that encompasses your life is for nothing. It is for something. You just have to be patient, and you have to be diligent, and you have to be on your shit. You know what I'm saying? In all aspects of your life, not just work. Because, Saturn retrograde and Jupiter retrograde is going to make you feel as though. And we're going to get into that. But before we do, let's get into the wolf animal totem. That's a little touch base. That is the energy that we're going to be focusing on for the week. So ripeness, it's an earth card this month. And then we have the wolf, true security. I've done this meditation on my own before. Dope ass meditation. Before I get into the wolf, I want to share about the cardinal, and I know I've shared about the cardinal in my previous videos before, but I want to reiterate. Also, I didn't even say this weekend was actually a Rainy Storm's 2nd year anniversary. So shout out to me, yo. This is the 2nd year that I've actually been doing a Rainy Storm consistently, like and you know, starting this journey, and you know, just not having this love for astrology, and studying astrology and doing all these things, and then finally, like, you know what, I'm gonna start a YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying? And I remember like trying to find my name, what I wanted to, you know, what I wanted to be, and all this other type of shit. So shout out to that. I know I'm all over the place. Like I said, this is gonna probably be me all year, because that's why I be trying to write things down so I don't go too off. Because y'all, we have a North Node of Gemini, my Mars, like, baby, my South Node. Just saying, it's gonna come out. So just work with me, just bear with me. So I wanted to talk about this cardinal before I get into this wolf power animal. The cardinal has come back. The cardinal has never left, but the cardinal, when I first, and I think I made a video about it, if I'm not mistaken, I did make a video about it. The cardinal, when I first got back to Atlanta, when I first got back to Georgia, was banging on my window. Like, I'm talking about, this motherfucker was banging on my window. And I was, you know, that was another transformation that I was like going through, that I was undergoing in my life. And I remember just being in this room and just crying, and like just in my shit, just really in my shit, and like, okay, I'm back here, and you know, everything that had went on before that, and like everything that had happened through that year, and just being in a place of silence, and hearing this cardinal just come slam on the window. And I was just like, wow, like, what? I've never had a cardinal come slam on the window. So yesterday, as I'm talking to my sister, and we were talking about defining who we are, and you know, being okay with the labels, you know, and not being so afraid to, you know, define who you are through those labels, because we do, essentially, regardless if we want to admit it or not, we define ourselves through labels. Astrology, you know, like, you know, things like that. Cardinal slams again right before I make this video, like right before I come in here and make this video. Boom, 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 boom. Cardinal's trying to get somebody's attention. All right. So I just wanted to share that with y'all. If that resonates with y'all, let me know in the comments if you've had experiences with birds or cardinals in general, and what that's done for you. Definitely let me know. Boom, bada bam. And then whatever my finger lands on, that's what I open to. So this week we're focusing on the wolf, true security, truth of where you are at the moment. It gives you guidance, and it basically directs you on the path that you will be headed. It is an authentic reflection of self. It is the wolf has an acute sensitivity, and hears when you speak, and can distinguish the truth from a motherfucking lie. It's a certain resonance that happens when someone speaks the truth, and when you speak from your head and you're disconnected from your heart. It's an embodiment of wisdom in your message, and you speak, and the wolf also holds on to every word. So everything that comes out of your mouth, the wolf holds on to, and will be able to discern some fuck shit from some real shit. It gets really, really irritated. The wolf gets really, really irritated when you're speaking just from a logical sense, or when you feel like you have to be saying the perfect thing to appease people. The wolf likes to hear the truth. The wolf wants to hear the truth. It also, so, and then when the wolf is relaxed, that's when, you know, you're coming from an emotional place. You're coming from a place of the heart. You're not coming from a logical head. It also can smell odors, so it can smell deities. It can smell spirits. It can smell very keen sense smell and what you emit. It is perceptive to what the eyes can see, and it is the center of the soul. It can see the center of the soul. When visiting the wolf, it'll help you find your true center, the source of your strength and security. He invites you to walk away from refuge into safety and discover who you really are. Security comes from when you give up your attachments and your safe haven, whether it's through a physical place or space or old beliefs and habits. And as soon as you relinquish your old form, something new can happen. And these, my friends, this right here, this process right here is what we will be going through our Saturn, through our Venus, and through our Jupiter this month. Now, first things first, Saturn retrograde in Aquarius and Saturn retrograde through Capricorn. So Saturn retrograde through Aquarius. First and foremost, let's just be real. The revolution will not be televised. All right. This is the ground breaking, the structure, the things that are going to have to be restructured and rebuilt in our lives when planets do retrograde and they go back. When planets station retrograde, you have to redefine the scope. You know what I mean? You have to figure out those things that, or allow spirit to help you, to guide you to figure out these things in your life and your path in order to put you on the right direction when these things go back direct. When, you've had the time to think about it. Sit down for a second and think about it. It's kind of, even though all these retrograde planets are just now stationed in retrograde, it's honestly felt like we've been in a retrograde. It has. It's been feeling like we've been in a retrograde for some time now. And this is just going to be basically like the cake on the icing, or the icing on the cake. You know what I mean? So with Saturn and Aquarius, especially for my Saturn Aquarius babies, it's going to be bringing up things that have constricted us, when it comes to our things that make us unique and the things that make us different. We're really going to be thinking about these things. Really going to be thinking about, well, who is my tribe? Are the people that I'm around, are the people that I hang around right now, are the people that are in my immediate center, the people that are for me? And I'm not saying that you got to go on a cutting off spree and things like that, and just, definitely having healthy conversations if need be with said people about the directions that you're moving into. But this is going to make you take stock on what's really, true to you, true to your center, true to your soul, especially in terms of the groups and the things that you want to do with people and relationships and your hopes and your dreams and the things that you want to do in the long term. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. So, yeah, take stock. You know what I mean? And I know I say that a lot in my videos, but really, it's time to get out there. It's time to find your tribe. It's time to be direct about finding your tribe and the people that you can see yourself building with in this new age. You can't do it alone. It does take, only one person to start the dream, but, you definitely want to have a team behind you to keep the momentum up, you know what I mean? And you want to make sure when you do build that team, you have people that you can actually trust by your side. So that is the Saturn Aquarius side of things. And I do want to get into Saturn and Capricorn. All right. Saturn and Capricorn. And also, before I get into Saturn and Capricorn, not even just as an individual, but collectively, we're going to start seeing this revolutionized world of different ways that we do things within technology. You're going to start to see work, because Saturn is, if we're talking about work and corporations and businesses and governments and things like that, there's going to be a there's going to be a revolutionized building that we're doing collectively to shift the narrative as far as work and jobs and things like that, in technology. You know, people working from home now. You know, a lot of people ain't trying to go back. Some people do, but a lot of people are kind of like, I actually want to start my own thing. I kind of want to do my own thing. And Aquarius is very an individualistic sign, and it likes to do things on its own. So you're going to see a lot more people being called and pulled towards that. Now, when it comes into Capricorn, the government wanting to have, or putting more control, or trying to put more control on the collective, through, you know, it can get a little extreme, because we are going to have Mars and Pisces stationed this week, but then we're going to have Mars and Aries coming into the collective, or coming into form, I should say, later on down the road. So, you know, people wanting to, not even just the government's trying to take control of the things or regain a sense of control of things, but the people, you know, Saturn Aquarius, Saturn and Capricorn, the people, you know, taking matters into their own hands and being like, actually, no, y'all are not going to tell us or continue to tell us the way we need to be running things and we need to be doing things. We need to actually get our communities together. We need to get our communities in order, and we need to regain a sense of structure so we can all, you know, benefit off of these changes, you know, or them putting, you know, stricter restrictions on the stuff that we do from a day to day, you know, and, or, you know, there's only this many people who could do this, or this many people, or we can only have this, you know what I mean? Especially when we go into the new moon in Gemini at the end of the month. You know, when it comes to groups, smaller groups of people, Gemini rules smaller groups of people, local neighborhoods and things like that. So we can definitely start to see that when Saturn moves back into Capricorn, and also goals, y'all. Like, what, you know, Capricorn is the GOAT. It builds. What do you want to build for these next couple months that you want to see really thrive, you know, through the winter season, you know, through the fall winter season, and then on to the next year, you know, before we have Taurus, you know, become the North Node, when you're solidifying that fixed foundation, you know. That's another thing that's going to be coming up. Let's move on. Yes, I wrote some things down, like I said, because I wanted to make sure that we don't get off topic. So definitely. I have next, May 13th, Venus in Gemini. Lovers. The Lovers card. Venus, retrograde, Gemini, Mercury in Gemini, and then we have Mars in Pisces at the end of the week once again, and then Neptune in Pisces. Baby, don't get caught up. Don't get caught up. That, honestly, that should be really the only thing that I say about this Venus and Gemini transit, because really, don't get caught up. No, it's not just about relationships. It's not just about, oh my God, who's going to talk to? And then talk to this person. It's not just about that. Here goes the cardinal again. Hitting the window again. You hear it? I don't know if y'all can hear that, but this cardinal, you heard it? We're going to talk about it in another video, I swear to God. We talking about this damn cardinal hitting this goddamn window. I might have to make another updated video about the cardinal part 2, slamming on my motherfucking window. But we'll talk about it. So don't get caught up in the sauce. That's something that I quoted. Thinking of a master plan. Because if we talk about Venus and we talk about Gemini, it rules the mind. Gemini rules the mind. Mercury, you know what I'm saying? Like it's all about the mind. What am I thinking? What energy do I need to get out of my mind and visualize it like the magician into this real reality, into this real world? Venus not only rules relationship, but it rules your money. It rules your, what are you valuing? You know what I mean? And not just in terms of money too, just what things do you value and what things can you put into place during this transit? You are going to be thinking a lot about those things. Do I want to stay with this said person? Do I want to stay with this said people? You know, do these people speak my language? Do we speak the same language? That's going to be another thing that's coming up too. It's not saying that you have to be exactly like the next person, you know, beside you, but it's definitely saying, you know, can we compare notes, baby? You know what I mean? Are you doing things to really, you know, keep me on my toes and not in like this overdoing, trying to please type of thing, but like, wow, you know, how can we, you know, bounce these ideas off of each other and build and make something? Word, baby. And it might not be long term. It might be short term. It might be short term. Gemini is the messenger connector god. All right. The connector god. So, you know, maybe, you know, getting with people in certain projects and doing like series or just doing things to be able to connect to people in ways that you've never connected with people before. And I know with quarantine, most of us would think that, oh, it's just limited because we have to be social distancing. Yes, but there's so many ways to be able to connect in this time. Maybe you weren't that person who slid into somebody's fucking DMs. You know what? During this transit, maybe slide into somebody's DMs and it don't even have to be on some like I'm trying to smash. If that's what you want to do, virtually smash, do it. But I'm saying, like, there's so many ways that we can be connecting at this point. You know, and where are you putting that energy to? Because I mean, Gemini is a baby energy. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a lot of like just mutable air energy. So where are you putting your mutable air energy? That's going to be something that's coming up during this transit. Old ex relationships, past things in relationships, you know, will be coming up that may be triggering. And this retrograde is going to ask, did you really clear the shit or did you just put it under the carpet and think the shit wasn't even going to come? Did you think the dust mites wasn't going to come and attack that ass again? Baby. No. Gemini's coming to check, baby. There's going to be certain things or certain people or certain situations that you enter into or you see or you witness or you hear that's going to remind you of things in your past. And you are going to have to really sit with those things. But do you have to keep and hold on to them? No, Gemini is very detached. Gemini looks at things from can look at things from multiple perspectives. And Gemini, as much as it can be attached, Gemini can also be detached, just like that. So look at things, your thoughts, Mercury, Gemini. Look at your thoughts, Venus, your heart. You know, the way you are in relationships, the way you are with, you know, the things that you value, you know, where are you putting that energy into? And is it helping you or is it holding you back? Gemini doesn't like to be held down. Gemini doesn't like to be held back. You know, so if it's not pouring into that cup, baby, guess what? Snip, snip. It's time to go. All right. Let's move to Jupiter and then we'll go ahead and wrap this up. Jupiter and Capricorn retrograde goals, bitch. That's what I put on the paper. How are we expanding? Honestly, out of all of these, all of the retrogrades, I feel like Jupiter and Capricorn is probably going to, this is going to feel, not for all, but it's going to feel like, okay, you know, when we talk about Jupiterian energy, and we're talking about expanding, and we're talking about seeking higher learning and things like that. And Capricorn is going to be like, okay, well, and then with this Gemini energy and things like that, and then with this Neptunian energy, the dream, baby. You can have a dream, but if you don't have a plan, how you going to get to the dream? You know what I'm saying? It's a pipe dream. Says Capricorn, it's a pipe. That's a pipe. That's a pipe dream. I can't do nothing with that. Baby, I can't do nothing with that. I need you to figure it out. How are we going to get to this dream? I need you to really think about that. How do you foresee your life? How do you foresee your future? And mean that shit. Commit to that shit. No shortcuts. Not trying to take the easy way out or trying to take the fast way to Mars. It's like, nah, like, take this time to really sit with yourself and figure out in what ways that you really want to build. You know, when you have Jupiter in that is an expansive sign, and then you have Capricorn, which can be very restrictive, but it's also very wise, and it's knowledge or generational knowledge that can be tapped into. So this can also be a transit of your ancestors or people from your past life coming into this world, or coming into your life or area, whatever you want to call it, to support you in that. Like, okay, what rules, have we not learned yet? You know what I mean? Like, what rules, or not what rules, but what lessons have we not learned yet that is going to take you to that next level, but you haven't got past yet? So this could be a time to definitely expand in, like, your studies, getting serious about the things that you want to do, and, like, not just being like, oh, I want to do this, but Capricorn is like, bitch, you gotta study the shit. Like, you can't just think that the shit's gonna come. Like, Capricorn is going to make you. Capricorn is going to force you. If you really want it, Capricorn is going to force you to study. It's gonna force you to seek beyond, like, this, watered down, like, well, I want to do it, but Capricorn is like, all right, you're saying you want to do it, but I don't see you doing it. Like, like, I need you to get busy. If you need to take a marketing class, you could take a marketing class. If you need to take going back to school, then go back to school. If you need to, whatever it is that you need to do to ascend, the hard work, because Capricorn is the hard work, that digging, the researching, the diving, baby. And that's happening. Did I say when it's happening? Jupiter. That's on the 14th. So that's the day after Venus and Gemini. And with this Venus Gemini energy, y'all, with this Mercury Gemini energy, and especially when we get into Mars and Aries, but also Mars and Pisces. I'm not gonna do Mars and Pisces like that. You're able to visualize. You're able to imagine what the shit could really be. And if you let it be, if you visualize the shit and you make a plan. I'm not saying that you have to have a step-by-step plan. I'm not saying that you have to do, but even just the simplest thing of creating a vision board, or the simplest thing of creating, just like certain things that you want to hit, like, okay, I want to do this, and then going back and just being like, okay, well, these are the little things that I need to do. It's not saying that you have to do this shit overnight. Capricorn takes its time, baby, okay? Capricorn wants to take its time with you, baby, okay? It's going to take its time to mold these things if you allow it to be molded, And taking those little steps day by day, especially with the time we have now, taking those little steps day by day. And then when you look back, when you come out of this retrograde and see what you have built, you're going to be blown away. You're going to be blown away. You're going to be blown away with the work you done put in. Because you took that time to really not only just have a passion for it, and not only to just, you know, be in it, but take the time to learn the necessary things you need to learn in order for it to be able to grow, in order for it to be able to expand. So my friends, during this retrograde period, this strong ass retrograde period, if I may, take the time. Use this time. Use this time to clear whatever you need to get cleared out. Use the wolf. You know, what is true security to you? What it's not the world's version of what security is and what it means to be stable and what it means to be this or that. What does security mean to you? And not just in a financial or monetary sense, just in your overall being. What does it mean to be secure? You know? What does that mean? That's what this retrograde is calling you. You know, secure in your finances, secure in your relationships, secure in your work, secure in yourself, secure in your spirit, you know, secure boundaries, you know. And, man, y'all already know what it is. Serenity Storm checking in, checking motherfucking out. You know where to find me, you know. This is going to be an interesting week and an interesting couple months. It's already has been, but now we're seeing it in full scale. So, I don't know what my voice is doing. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go. It's already started checking in, checking out. You know where to find me. Instagram, Facebook. Links will be below.